All right, guys, welcome to Girl Chat Sports episode 40. This is hashtag Sean Kemp episode.
It's a milestone. We reached 40 episodes.
A milestone. So it is Tuesday, you guys, and we are a day early only because tomorrow is Stephanie's birthday.
Woo! Speaking of milestones, the girl is old.
Hey, it's all good. But we are going to be going to the Mexico versus Iceland friendly tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to go to a soccer match together.
This is actually my very first soccer game live. Well, I guess professional soccer game.
Man, I got to tell you, the fans that watch soccer are insane. They're the most insane fans that I have ever seen or experienced in my life.
Well, I'm trying to learn. I want to meet some Iceland people. I mean, I'm definitely going to be practica mi español cuando está en la equipo. But I just said in the sport. Yeah, that didn't make sense. But anyways, so we got a great show for you guys. We actually have Jessika with a K Ward who will be joining us. She is as a broadcast journalist. She actually covers FSU and FAMU basketball and football games. So we'll be talking to her later on the second half of the show. But the season's officially over.
Football is over.
Is there like a violin playing somewhere or like some morning music?
I need some tissue.
I mean, here's the deal. We'll get to the Super Bowl in 1 second because I know it's insane and it's crazy. But this was the last game of the year. I mean, it went out with a bang.
Yeah, there's like, 240 some
odd days.
Odd days until
I mean, luckily we've got, I think, combine start in March. I think the draft is May, I think, May-ish. And then we've got preseason and practices in the end of July. So we'll get a little dibble and dabble here. But unfortunately, we are SOL until basically the end of August.
Well, soccer's our new thing now. That's going to be our new sport. We watch the game at a sports bar that has a soccer club, and we're going to watch a soccer match tomorrow night. So that can be our newest favorite sport.
So check for us on ESPN 6 watching Mexico versus Iceland tomorrow live at Sam Boyd Stadium. I think it's 6:30 is the time.
We'll have to go live on Facebook too, so make sure you
check out a live Facebook on Girl Chat Sports. So the big game, 51, did not disappoint it unless you were a Falcons fan.
Patriots are the Super Bowl champions the 5th time in 16 years.
I mean, this is the 5th time within the Brady-Belichick era. 5. Some people can't even get 1 in their lifetime.
It goes without saying that both the coach and Brady are GOATs.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the GOAT could only be referred to Michael Jordan throughout my whole life, but I will give it to Tom Brady. He definitely deserves this. I mean, he not only has 5 rings, but he's got 4 and MVPs of the Super Bowl too. So that's, I mean, already saying that, hey, basically because of you, we've won all 4 Super Bowls.
This was the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. They smashed 24 records were topped and 7 were tied.
What?
I'm telling you. It was crazy. And the first game the first Super Bowl that ever had overtime. It's just the craziest thing.
And then there was no score in the first quarter. So I know there was a ton of prop bets that had lost. So there was no score in the first quarter. It was 21-3 at halftime. I mean, I think the first Patriots touchdown was James White basically scored all for the Patriots.
I think
almost.
He should have been MVP.
He really should have.
14 receptions, 20 points. Are you kidding me?
Right, and 110 yards. He broke the record for most receptions in a championship. He's breaking records. Another broken record by the Patriots, though. And we'll talk about the Super Bowl some more, too, with Jessika. But the kicker, Gostowski, he missed a point after, and that was the first one that had ever been done since 1990 in a Super Bowl.
Man, after that, we were like, they can't do anything right. We thought that Atlanta had it in the bag.
I mean, I know at halftime, me and my friends were over at Blue Martini in Las Vegas, and we're watching it, and shout out to the Neo Soul and Urban Events out there and Devin Moore. We appreciate you for hosting such great things like this. But when I tell you, there was a girl at our table who had bet the Falcons. So the whole time we're at the halftime, we're like, oh my God, girl, She's won. We're all winning. I'm mad that I didn't bet because my bet was going to be Falcons and the under. And so at 21-3, I'm thinking, oh my God, the under is guaranteed. The Falcons are about to win. I'm doing what people did to me when the Seahawks are up versus the Patriots in the halftime. I'm texting people like, hey, congrats. I know it's only halftime, but I just want to say, you guys have got this. Look great. A surprise, surprise. I think no one really expected the Patriots to come out like this.
My friends that are Patriots fans on Facebook had already resolved that they were going to lose. I saw someone say, well, there's always the Red Sox.
Well, we had Alex Washington on the show the other week, and his partner on their podcast is Adam. Well, Adam's a huge Falcons fan, and he was already putting up posts in our group in the Zone message boards like, my phone's off. I won't be responding. I won't be addressing this shit until 5 weeks from now. And
when he gets over it,
right? I have friends that have been diehard to saying that, oh, my phone's going to voicemail for the next 2 months. Don't bother me now. And I'm thinking, wow. I get it, but and then to come across, there was actually on Snapchat, I don't know if for all of our listeners are on Snapchat, you could actually go through the Super Bowl 51 snap, and it showed how there was this big rise of Atlanta Falcons fans all celebrating and going crazy. You get to halftime, and then all of a sudden there's more Patriots fans coming in. You see the rise and fall of the happiness and the up and down emotions for both teams, which was pretty entertaining.
But what was Kyle Shanahan thinking?
The second half, he really dropped the ball.
You're supposed to run the ball as much as you can. Squeeze every second out of the game clock. And that didn't
really quite go down. Here's the deal. I think with only 4 minutes left, Falcons were still up 28-0 with 4 minutes. But here's the deal. Prior to that, they were up, I think, by 19 points. They were down 18 points at the half. So literally, all they had to come back and do is literally play defense. Sure, the Patriots score one. Of course, they're going to score the second half. But they got not only scored 2 touchdowns, but they got 2-point conversions. That's never done. You don't just score 2 touchdowns and get 2-point conversions right on top of each other.
Man, I'm telling you, it was rigged.
And then you go to the overtime and say, screw a field goal. We are going straight for a touchdown. And you win.
What a shocker.
Man.
And now we'll never hear the end of it.
Well, and now the 49ers get that. So, if you hadn't heard yet, Kyle Shanahan will be going to the San Francisco 49ers as a new head coach. It's interesting what they've been talking about, him possibly taking the quarterback Schaub with him as well. Obviously, I think Colin Kaepernick is going to let go and try and become a free agent. So I think there will be some need for extra support over there in many areas with the Niners. So, but one thing that caught me as funny, and I wanted to reach out to a couple of Falcons people I know, is that Steve Sarkisian, who used to be a Huskies coach, who went to USC and got fired for alcohol because he was basically drinking on the job, and then moves over to Alabama where he's like a offensive line, he does something, he's in the booth for a while, and then he becomes offensive coordinator and replaces Lane Kiffin right at the college, I want to say World Series, the college championship. And now he's supposed to be poised to become the new offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that he stopped drinking. And I'm thinking that, I'm wondering if, I don't think Steve was in Washington when Dan Quinn was there necessarily. I'd have to actually look into the numbers, but it would be interesting if they know each other from being in the Seattle sports scene. So, I guess good luck to Steve Sarkisian, good luck to Dan Quinn with his new changing of positions, but it kind of reminded me hearing about all the changing of football within the Falcons organization. I saw that one of the quarterback coaches could be leaving for a position. It reminded me of the Seahawks winning, and all of a sudden, Dan Quinn and people are bouncing ship and players and stuff. So we'll see if Atlanta still has the same team come back as when they left today. Or yesterday, I guess. Oh, man. I did enjoy some Super Bowl commercials, though.
Yeah, which we'll definitely talk about with Jessika when she comes on. But yes, there were a lot of heartwarming and relevant commercials.
Well, yeah, and I noticed that a lot of them kind of poked at this whole presidency. We know the orange guy is in the office. I think a lot of the commercials kind of portrayed like, hey, we're still unified. Hey, it's us together. And it's not just America. It's all the people that diversify our country and bring it together. We talked a little bit, I mentioned the 84 lumber commercial. I literally had to look up what 84 lumber was because I didn't quite understand.
Yeah.
So 84 lumber was actually they provide jobs, and they're basically saying that we employ anyone. And it's like a 5-minute commercial about this mom and her daughter who are immigrating into Mexico, or from Mexico to the United States, and come up against this wall. The wall was built. It hasn't been built yet, obviously, but it basically has them coming up to a wall. But 84 lumber had built doors in the wall where they could walk through and get out of. So it was really an emotional commercial. I really liked it. The other commercial that really struck a chord with me was an Audi commercial, and it was about a daughter, and it was the dad who was narrating it, and the girl is basically driving these little handmade go-karts down a hill with the boys, and he's like, do I need to tell her that, you know, her grandfather makes more than her grandmother, that her dad makes more than her mom, that, you know, women aren't supposed to be what men? No, it's not. It's about do whatever you want. So I love Audi for that, and maybe one day I'll get an Audi just because.
What did you think of Lady Gaga's performance?
Well, here's the deal. I feel like people either loved it or hated it. Like either I just turned on the Super Bowl just for Lady Gaga, or I can't, like everybody hush she's performing, or it was like the anti, like, why is she performing? Why did they pick her? There was no like just, oh, it was a good show. It was either I hated it or loved it.
True.
I personally enjoyed it. Where I was at, it was funny, the guy who promotes it, his wife, she had basically told him to stop talking over the mic because the Lady Gaga was performing. So it was pretty fun. It was entertaining. Lady Gaga had an amazing show. And it's funny because I don't know if you guys have followed this whole Simpsons thing with like how the Simpsons like predict history. They had predicted, you know, Donald Trump being a president. They even have a picture of a lady like performing and coming in the silver outfit flying in from the sky, which is almost like Lady Gaga. So there was numerous other ones in the past that have kind of happened, but there's also now one coming up where it shows Trump in a casket. So should be interesting on that one. But yeah, what about you? Did you like the performance?
I did. You know, in the past, I wasn't really a big fan of hers. I didn't understand the whole like meat outfit and her weird, crazy hair and stuff like that. But I've come to learn that she seems to be a really good woman and, you know, down to earth. And I really, really liked the performance. Her outfits were something that couldn't cause any wardrobe malfunctions. And I love that she also preached her inclusion as well. And, you know, it was very heartwarming for her to give a shout out to her mom and dad. And then, of course, there was shade afterwards. Like, I guess Pink's fans were trying to say that she stole the whole diving into the stadium on a pulley or whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
Saying that Pink did it first. And so, of course, Pink went on Twitter and of course showed love to Gaga. So I thought it was a great performance.
Wow. Well, yes, the Super Bowl was a big hit. I mean, even if you were, except for Falcons fans, clearly, it literally was one of those things where you were just glad to be there and be part of it. You were glad to have seen this historic event take place. And what's crazy is that people have, basically 2016 to 17 sports year has been amazing. We had the Chicago Cubs come back from a 3-1 deficit. We had the Cavs come back from a 3-1 deficit in the championship, and now you've got the Patriots coming back 23, or having came back 31 unanswered points. So
could you imagine being Michael Floyd right now?
Yeah, this man. And I put a tweet out right after it happened because I was like, this guy.
What, two DUIs?
2 DUIs, the one in Arizona, obviously, that cost him his job with the Cardinals, but he had one in college, too. So he gets dropped from the Cardinals immediately after the DUI, within one day picked up by the Patriots, and now has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, and you know what? He didn't even play in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, for that matter.
He
still got a ring.
He was on the healthy inactive list.
Yeah, well, they're saying that he didn't really do much for the team this season, so who knows if he's going to.
But what's crazy is you've got Larry Fitzgerald, who's played his heart out for the Cardinals. Season upon season. I think he's like at 12 seasons maybe now, and still is going to come back. He said he's not retiring. Never had a ring. Michael Floyd, 2 DUIs, not even playing for the Patriots on the field, and he gets a ring.
Man.
And that's how professional sports goes.
Exactly.
Amazing. So, a little bit another football news. What I couldn't believe, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to realize this, but Howie Long, he's obviously a huge football player. Back in the day, he is a broadcaster, and I didn't really realize it, but Chris Long for the Patriots is his son. So he was drafted back in 2008. He went to the Rams. Shout out to In the Zone, because maybe you guys clearly were aware of this before I was. Played for the Rams for, 7-8 years, and then went to the Patriots this last year, and all of a sudden, he's got a ring, too. So it was cool to see the father-son relationship, and Chris had brought his child out into the field. They have a baby. He had just had a baby, so it was like, father, son, grandson. It was like this nice little bond, and getting them to see, experience, and share it together. It was also really fun to see Martellus Bennett, and of course, Michael Bennett from the Seahawks. They're brothers. Michael Bennett took the show away. I mean, there was these post-game interviews on ESPN with Martellus Bennett, and Michael Bennett comes up behind the interviews, and they start trading it up between about being brothers and growing up, and how he's always the big brother and protector. And I'm just happy that the Bennett family now has 2 rings. So. Shout out to both those guys. Do you have any updates for us with the Raiders? Is there anything new going on?
Man, so I saw in the news, obviously, since they're coming, our local news is talking about it quite a bit. I saw one of the local news stations actually say that they're still trying to get Sheldon Adelson involved. Like, they're trying to entice him to come back and open up conversation again.
Like, we kept you out, but now that you were not going through with, come on back, we'll invite you back into the
Well, I mean, they're talking about trying to get some investors to, come together to make it happen still. And so far, the best that we have right now is somebody decided to start a GoFundMe account to raise the $650 million.
$650 million.
So this GoFundMe account has been open for 4 days. There's been 36 contributors, and so far they've built it up to $630. Have you contributed, Melissa?
I have not.
We want the Raiders to come, but we're not thinking.
I'd be more than happy to contribute when I knew it was officially happening.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of us to contribute get it up.
But here's the deal. They said, we could literally do, like, everybody that lives in Las Vegas or Clark County, for that matter, donating $2 a person.
I don't think that many people want the Raiders to come here.
But you think if everybody spends $2 on a coffee, or $2 on a pack of cigarettes, or $2 on, whatever your routine is, like, $2 and you have a live football. I mean, people I know don't like sports like we do, but
yeah,
it would be really nice
people
if
would
they
contribute $2 for them to not come.
Right. So, a couple things on the rumor mill. Michael Vick supposedly is already rethinking his retirement. So we are 3 days out of retirement party, and he's like, "Well, I just want to keep my options open." Maybe he wants to go ahead into spring league, or I don't know, because I don't think anyone was necessarily dying to pick him up.
Yeah, well, and Colin Kaepernick's going to opt out of his contract this season and become a free agent. So
we'll see where he goes.
Let's see who wants
that
to pick
should
him up.
be interesting.
Where do you think Tony Romo is going to go? I ask everybody.
A lot of people have been talking about the Texans.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
I saw that today on a ESPN headline. It was like, Tony Romo to the Texans, and then a possible Super Bowl between the Colts and the Vikings. I was like, wait, what? But the Vikings? Sam Bradford is not going to make it happen, and Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think, is coming back for a full season, so that should be interesting.
Well, when Jerry Jones went out on the field because of the honors, they booed him. Houston booed him.
Well, it is Houston.
That's what I'm saying. Now they're going to pick up Tony Romo. I don't know.
Well, what's funny is that and within the NFL honors, they had that on Saturday, which was very cool. Khalil Mack won the NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Dak Prescott has Rookie of the Year.
Can I say that we just cleaned house on some awards there?
You did, but there was Matt Ryan was the Offensive Player of the Year. Jordy Nelson, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Kyle Shanahan, Assistant Coach of the Year. Of course, your guy Jason got Coach of the Year. And then
Our offensive line.
Yes, they did win.
Oh, it was so sweet. Did you see when Dak went up to the stage to get his honor? He brought Ezekiel Elliott up with him and basically said, we need to share this.
Aww.
You know, like the team got where it was because of the both of us. And I thought that he literally said, does somebody have a knife so I could cut this in half to give to him? So, and then my favorite part is he said, thanks the other 31 teams for passing me up. Yeah.
Well, and maybe that's where the other half of Ezekiel's shirts go, is to Dak. Maybe Dak has the bottom half of them. Moving on from football, even though I really don't want to, because after today, it's like,
no more.
We're going to have to dig up things just to talk about in regards to football. Oh, that reminds me. We'll discuss a little bit more next week and as we continue on. But after February, we will be going to a bi-weekly show with football coming off. You know, we love football with a great passion. We love basketball too. We love baseball. We want to get to know soccer. We want to get to know NHL. But our passion is football. And so with less of football around, we're going to have a little bit less of us to have topics about. So just keep that in mind. We'll be doing the rest of February, but come March, we'll be doing it bi-weekly. Okay, was that a good announcement? And then real quick in regards to some hoops, any NBA action you want to talk about?
Yeah, so anyway, speaking of memorabilia and whatnot being stole from the Super Bowl,
right?
Actually, there was some memorabilia outside of Kobe Bryant's high school. They had a display case outside of his school in Philadelphia. A thief broke in and took his high school jersey, several pairs of Nike sneakers that were signed, and the 1996 state championship trophy. Rumor has it was just a replica of his jersey, so it wasn't worth much. But that's sad.
I was just like, but here's the deal. If someone was really wanting some Kobe memorabilia, you would think that would be like the easiest place to grab it, is to break into a high school.
Right. No, it was outside even.
Oh, God, no. Oh, yeah. See, they're doing something crazy there.
Oh, and Paul Pierce is retiring after this year. I thought that it was really sweet that in his last game in the Garden, they actually let him start, which was very nice. And I think that the crowd was like cheering for him to come back into the game the whole time. Aww. He hasn't played since December. He only played 12 games this season for the Clippers. And with 19.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Doc put him back in the game, and he hit a three-pointer over Isaiah Thomas. And the crowd went wild. Aww. So it was really nice that he could open and close the game in the Garden. And it said that of his 15 years with the Celtics, that he never not once didn't score. So it was really nice that they gave him an opportunity to do his last moment of shine in his home court.
Yeah. Well, I know he had a pretty emotional tribute to the fans, which was nice. I mean, I never thought it was the day where Paul Pierce retires before Vince Carter, but hey, I guess weirder things are happening in this world. Yao Ming also retired. I love Yao Ming because I have a friend that calls me Yao just because I'm tall and Asian, but whatever. And what was so funny is that, you know, Yao Ming's huge. He's 7'2" or something. Well, and when he played in the league, he was very slim, like most NBA players, and like most NBA players when they retire, he kind of blew up. So he is like Shaq size big, and he's 7'2". So James Harden goes to run up on him and jump on him, and he looks like a little monkey. I mean, he literally is like a little kid on his back, like hanging off your dad's back. It's so crazy. So that was hilarious to me. Another thing I thought was hilarious, Steve Kerr got ejected from a game after he unleashed this huge profanity tirade against one of the refs because Draymond got a technical.
He had to be held back by Mike Brown from like going after the ref.
Steve Kerr coaches with passion. That's what I like to see. Unlike the passion behind DeMarcus Cousins, who got fined $25,000 for making inappropriate statements and gestures while leaving the floor in the Kings' win over the Warriors yesterday. He's received his 16th. We're not even halfway through the season because All-Star Weekend is coming up next weekend, and he's already got 16 technical fouls.
He can't control himself. I watched that game, and you know, when it's that close and that little left in the game, you really need to kind of control your emotions. You can't be given technical fouls like that.
I mean, somebody just needs some anger management in the off season. How about that, DeMarcus? Huh? A little bit of that. Maybe a little less party popping and bottle popping, and maybe just anger management classes. So, anyways, we are going to take a little commercial break, and we will come right back with Jessika Ward.
Palmer Alexander for the In the Zone Sports Show. Want to tell you about our sponsor at Gossip Pasta. Now she's at a new location at 291 Chesterfield Mall Food Court. She's open 7 days a week. Make sure you get in on all of the goodness. And don't forget the food is made with a bunch of love. Only at Gossip Pasta. The food's so good, it'll make you say, Shatorta, give it to him, queen.
City to city, state to state, internationally, Gossip Pastas is always in the zone.
City to city, state to state, worldwide, we are in the zone. And this is the network.
All right, guys, and welcome back. We have got our fabulous guest today, Miss Jessika with a K Ward. You can find her at _ Jessika Ward. Jessika, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, well, we kind of like cyber stalked you and found out all the little information on you, and kind of that you're this like up and coming wonderful sports broadcasting woman almost. Can you give us a little like kind of introduce us to you, what you're doing and where you're at?
Yes, I am in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm a student at Florida A&M University. If you hear a little thunder in the background, that's because it's raining right now.
Oh gosh.
But yes, I'm a student. I'm a senior. I basically cover sports beats. I love sports. I do sports reporting. I also just recently started my own YouTube channel that I do like mini series off of. And I don't know, I just record, tell stories, and that's basically what I do.
What made you fall in love with sports? What got you into sports?
Well, my dad is a athletic director, but before that, he was a basketball coach. So when I was born, he was already coaching high school basketball, and he coached up until I was a teenager. So I've just always had an interest. I played a lot of sports coming up. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just like sports. And just because I wasn't, as good, maybe not going to go collegiate that way, I just chose another niche because I also like to ask questions. I'm also, just looking at the game and wanting to talk more about what happened. So I thought it was a good fit. I don't know, it kind of just went. Went over to that way.
Right. So then what was like the favorite sport that you played? And then what's your favorite sport to watch or cover? Or maybe all three?
Okay. Well, when I was playing sports, I played volleyball in high school. I played basketball like middle school and elementary or whatever. And my favorite sport was definitely volleyball, just because my teammates, I formed such great bonds with them, and it was just something different. My family's a basketball family, so playing volleyball was kind of going outside of what, we usually do, so that was also fun.
Oh, good.
But cover, what do I like to cover? I like covering football.
Uh-huh.
I like covering basketball. I like covering everything, I think. Those are my obviously top two. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm going to cover some tennis.
Oh,
coming
cool.
Up soon.
Very cool. So maybe just for the viewer or for our listeners, what sports and what schools are you currently covering?
FSU, FAMU. Those are, the schools. And some of the high schools in the Big Bend area as well.
What is it called?
The Big Bend area.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's funny. One of my girlfriends went to FAMU, so I was like, but I'd never heard of the Big Bend before, but that does make sense, I guess.
Until I did a story on a homeless shelter. There's a Big Bend of America. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to learn that. Then I learned Big Bend all team. That's like what they call their all team, the high schoolers.
Oh, wow.
So, so it's the Big Bend.
Cool. So, I mean, since you're our first guest we've had since Super Bowl 51 and this historic comeback, I mean, first of all, I guess, who were you pulling for the Falcons since they're the closest to you right now, or are you a Patriots fan, or do you have a hatred for either of the teams?
I really didn't have a team on the field, but I was pulling for the Falcons for sure. And I just knew they were going to win. I don't know how they let the Patriots come back like that, but, I definitely thought I was definitely rooting for the Falcons, so I'm upset.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
31 unanswered points. Like, who would have thought?
Well, you mean you're up. I think we're in Vegas, so we kind of discussed prop bets last week and kind of some of the things that you can bet on. And I can guarantee you that nobody had ever had thought about what kind of comeback could happen, or if there was even bets for that. But I'm also pretty sure that no one thought that. That it was going to be 21-3 in the first half. The first half.
Yeah.
And then some of these catches, like we had, why am I just going blank all of a sudden? Edelman had that great catch where he had the 3 Atlanta Falcons surrounding him. It literally, the ball had bounced off the ground almost. He catches it. I know it didn't bounce, but he caught it, kind of jumbled with it, did like a somersault, it appeared, caught it, and that led to one of their other touchdowns. So, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that you kind of took from the game or that you enjoyed seeing. I mean, I think the first half was pretty much all Falcons, and then the second half, we saw one touchdown from them, but then they were gone.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I was literally looking, and I'm just like, what in the ball? And then did you see the great catch? Did you see the catch that caught it? And he literally, his feet just saved them. His feet saved them.
Yeah, there was some great catches.
The Patriots just came back, and they had just great plays.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that no one guessed that the highest receiving yards was going to go to their running back. I mean, this guy, James White, he broke the record for most receptions in the championship. He had the most receiving yards in the game. He went 14 for 110 yards. What was crazy when I was reading some backup information, I don't know how much college or other football players are out there that you're aware of, but he was a backup to Giovanni Bernard in high school. Giovanni played with the Bengals recently, and I can't remember where he's at now.
Right.
And then Monty Ball, he was his backup in college. So this guy's actually been a backup for some names that are kind of iffy now in the league. And he came out just blazing. And I think it surprised a lot of people, and I'm sure anyone who bet on James White in any prop bet made some money.
Yeah, but just because you're their backup, though, you can come out and be better. It happened.
Oh, most definitely. And I know some of the other kind of crazy Super Bowl things that happened. So we already addressed there was the largest, greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. We also had Gostowski, the kicker for the Patriots. He missed their first point after in the third quarter, and that was the very first missed extra point in Super Bowl history since 1990.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Terrible.
I know, right? That's what your face is going to be, is not only did you in the championship, but you also have another piece of history in that you sucked at the kick.
I was surprised that none of the Super Bowls have ever gone into overtime before.
That was kind of weird, huh? I swear there's been other ones yeah, it was so crazy. That, and I'm sure the other prop bet.
One shouldn't have went into overtime. That one shouldn't have went.
No, not at all. For all the other ones that have come across, that one should definitely not have. And the other thing was that it was a 0-0 game after the first quarter. There was no first quarter score, which I think probably lost a lot of people some money too.
Sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, and they wouldn't have even gone over, and then they went over I think the over was 50 or 59, but they wouldn't have even gone over had it not been for overtime.
True.
So I think, it helped out people on their wages. I know my girlfriend had bet the Falcons, and she was, we're all at halftime. We're like, oh my God, you're about to win. We're spending her money before she even gets it. And then next thing you know, this downfall. So, I mean, kudos to Tom Brady, him and his little butt chin. I mean,
oh my God, whatever.
We're still having a hard time admitting that he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
I mean, the man, he's got 5 rings, all from the same team. I mean, he's done it within 17 years. I mean,
though. That
Yeah.
is dedication.
It's pretty hard to do that. Plus, he's got 4 NFL and Super Bowl MVPs. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Makes it look pretty easy.
Especially for, I mean, beyond his good looks, he's an average looking guy. Like, he's not super athletic. You don't see him with bulging muscles. He's not like out there running around tearing things up. He's just really accurate, and all of a sudden he's like
Great
this
quarterback.
And 39 years old. I wish that I was in that great of shape when I was 39. It's terrible.
He's amazing. I mean, yes. And then Giselle, did you see her? She was going crazy in the box suite, of course.
Yeah. I was looking at this little video on Instagram today. His son was dabbing. I'm like, oh my God.
Too cute. It was way too cute. Although I was a little surprised. I know I'm a Seahawks fan. Steph's a Cowboys fan. Do you have like an allegiance that you have with, or is it just anyone right now, or is your allegiance more towards basketball because that's family history, or?
You know, I have to. If I have to choose an NFL team, I will choose the Packers. Sam Shields is from Sarasota, Florida, where I'm from.
Okay.
Friends, you know, so his team, go team, go.
Okay.
Go Pack, go.
Well,
Pack, go.
that's good. We can well, Steph may not like it.
I'm still a little bitter at that Cowboys
we've
game.
stuck it to the Packers a couple of times, but both of us being fans of our own teams, I mean, it's hard to admit when we find that there's a great person or players or team like the Patriots, but I mean, these guys, I mean, they've been in so many Super Bowls. I mean, just Tom Brady alone, I think has been in 28. Is it 28 playoff game? I don't know what the stat was, but he's been in a lot of damn games, and
you can't hate on great.
You can't hate on that. I mean,
you can't. He's great.
And there was the debate between him and Joe Montana, but Joe Montana didn't have 5 rings, and he didn't. I mean, Joe Montana was great. He probably was the greatest up until this most recent couple years, for Tom Brady. So it's pretty interesting. One thing that I don't know if you caught the end of the game and some of the after game broadcasts, couple of things. Tom Brady's jersey was stolen out of his locker room bag, and when I told, so I'm watching I'm watching the news. I'm like talking to my mom on the phone. I was like, oh my God, Mom, like his jersey was stolen. She goes, what? Who stole it? Some fan? And I'm like, no, it's like actually legitimately the people that are like having press passes or whatever passes to be in the locker room. Like he said it got stolen from his bag, and there was some video clip of him talking to, I don't know if it was Kraft or who it was, but he was talking to somebody like, oh man, my jersey's gone. So I guess it's still missing.
He said if you see it on the black market, you better let me know.
Yeah. If you see it on eBay, it's going to spring up here in the next couple of days.
That is crazy.
I know, right?
They'll wait a while.
Right?
Wait a while. He's looking for it now.
Right, you can't, and you can't, well, you have to just keep it really, because you can't really say, oh, Tom Brady's winning jersey from I mean, you can't even say that, because that just, all the alarms go off.
The running joke is that
whoever stole it wanted it, though. Because
to keep it.
Who does it?
The running joke is that he asked the Texas police to help him out, but they also asked the Texas Rangers, which not the baseball team, but the baseball team actually said on their Twitter, that's kind of outside of our realm of duties. So I thought that was pretty funny.
And the other thing was crazy was that we talked about him was that James White, he had the overtime touchdown that won the game for them. He actually dropped that winning ball on the field and ran to celebrate with his guys and never went back to get the ball, so the ball is gone too. Oh, no. Somebody made out like a bandit there in Houston, man. In about 10 years, we're going to see these ball and jersey go up for sale, I bet. No.
People dance. I mean, that's what it's about.
Man, it's so crazy, but I know... Yes, and I know Houston was going crazy out there. I don't know, did you get a chance to catch some of the commercials? Did you have any favorites that you saw?
Yes. Well, so, I'm a visual artist.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm looking at, the video. So, I liked that some of the, videos, I don't know, I just liked the videos, and then I liked that you couldn't really tell what the commercial was about until, who the commercial was for, rather. until like the end. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like full blown, almost looking like movies.
Right, very
they were,
clever.
they were like, yeah, they were like really good. Like I just thought they were very creative.
They did do some really good ones. I know one of my favorites there was the Hyundai one that was called A Better Super Bowl. It literally was showing these troops live, watching the game, and going into these booths where they had like this 360 live picture of the Super Bowl, and right to their immediately to their right or left was like their family member who was there at the game, and so they kind of like got to watch the game with their family live, and it was a really cool thing that I got. So yeah, Hyundai did a really good job with that one. Yeah, it was really nice.
Cool.
One of my favorite.
It was like really cool.
It was. I mean, I would have loved to watch the game like that. Like it literally was this 360 experience in like this dome. I mean, technology obviously is going to do some great things, but it was amazing. And for them to be, I can't even remember what area they were in, but it was like snow covered, and they were like in some kind of Antarctic area or something. The military people, and but they got to get to see the game, watch it with their kids that were also there live at the game. So that was really cool. So shout out to Hyundai for that one. I don't know. Did you have?
My favorite was, besides the 84 lumber one, where their journey to America, which almost made me cry. But the Airbnb one, like that was, I feel like was one of the first commercials, and just to celebrate our differences, we support. I think that was awesome. But the only thing is like if you're not familiar with Airbnb, you wouldn't recognize their emblem, and they didn't really say who they were. So I think a lot of people didn't realize like who it was that did that commercial, but I was pretty proud.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what Jessica was talking about, is that some of these commercials, like there was one that had, there was these huge martial arts scenes. I just showed it to you. I forgot the guy's name, one of the action actors. They had this whole thing, and it was just for Wix, which is like a website building company, but you didn't know that until like towards the end of it. And same with, I think there was like another Coke commercial that was almost like that, but there was some really good commercials. I mean, Martha and Snoop had a T-Mobile commercial, which it like totally was talking about like weed or marijuana. Like she would hold up like, herb this or the greenery of the plants, and like, it's just, those two together are hilarious. So that was another great commercial.
So funny.
Right. Well, Jessica, we really appreciate you coming out here. I'm excited for you. I know we mentioned earlier that you kind of get to cover some of the FSU games, and I noticed that your women's basketball team is currently number 5th in the top 25, so congrats to them. And I think you mentioned you were going to be heading out to watch one of their games pretty soon.
Yeah, on tomorrow's the men's game, but on the 9th. There will be a women's basketball game. They're playing Wake Forest. I'll cover that one.
Oh, awesome.
But like when I go to the men's basketball game, they talk about the women's team. So it's a topic of discussion at the men's game. So that kind of tells me that the women's basketball
are doing better.
Is pretty good. Yeah.
Well, and I'm a Husky from Washington, so it's funny because our guys' team is pretty crappy right now, but the girls team, we went to the Final Four last year, and this year they're, I think, number 10. So really, when people talk about Washington hoops right now, it is about the women. So more power to us.
Yeah. FSU's men's team is pretty good though.
Oh yeah, well that's good too.
Yeah, they're like double basketball program right now. They're like having a great basketball program season right now.
Awesome.
Really, they are.
Oh, good. Well, Jessica, we really appreciate you joining us. If you could just give our listeners kind of where to find you on social media, that would be awesome.
Yes, I can be followed on Instagram at _Jessika Ward with a K. Oh, that hurts my feelings to be Jessica with the C. It's not. Jessica with a K. And that is where you can find me. You can like me on Facebook, Jessika Ward, as well. And Twitter is the same handle at _Jessika Ward.
And the YouTube channel?
Jessika Ward TV, the most important thing.
There you go.
Ward TV. That is the most important thing.
I was looking at your pictures on Instagram, and girl, your shoe game is on point.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Everyone goes, how do you walk? You know what? That's the thing about being a woman. You kill it. You can walk in those too.
That's right.
Double the work.
That's right.
Camera, everything.
I just have to say I'm really proud of you. You're really sharp on your toes when talking to the coaches and whatnot. So you're doing us proud.
Thank you
as a woman.
so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on, and we hope to reach out to you again in the future, and definitely take some pictures for us of the game so we can share them on Instagram.
Of course. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Okay, so before we leave, just a couple of college hoop notes. So this top 5 right now for men's: Gonzaga, Villanova, Kansas, Louisville, and Oregon is now in the top 5. Washington Husky men are still not doing so great. They are holding up the bottom of the Pac-12. I believe so are the UNLV men. Not so great there. But Gonzaga, man, 24-0 right now after
Still
Saturday's win.
Undefeated still.
Yes. I think they played tonight, maybe. I'm not sure. But good luck to those guys. Of course, they're from Washington, so we support them as well. Women's college hoops, UConn, still undefeated, man. Unbelievable. Then followed by Baylor, Maryland, Mississippi State, and FSU, just like we talked to earlier with Jessica. My Husky women are number 10 in the top 25 and number 2 in the Pac-12. UNLV are still 4 over in the Mountain West, so congrats to those ladies and the Gonzalez sisters, of course. Real quick, one of the awe moments, I think if you tuned into the Super Bowl, you probably saw a few memes in regards to the Bushes there, but it was nice to see George and Barbara Bush getting wheeled out for the coin toss to start the game in Houston, as they are big Texas people.
Yeah,
so that was
nice to see them healthy. For sure.
And fill us in on some arms of the NFL stuff.
Man, this is who we picked for the arms of the NFL this week. We've got Taylor Gabriel, wide receiver, number 18 for the Falcons. Did you see him play Malcolm Butler?
Yeah.
He faked him out.
Faked him out good.
Dude hit the grass. Hit the grass.
Nice.
Got some decent arms. And then we also chose James White. He's number 28, the running back for the Patriots. Guy beasted out in this game, and he's got some really great arms.
Yes, he did.
And our Throwback Thursday, we've got Terrell Owens.
Yes.
Who I feel got cheated.
I think we all know he got snubbed from the Hall of Fame.
But he also needs to stop bad-mouthing them too when he doesn't make it in. The same people vote every single year. Yeah. So you kind of need to be nice.
Kiss a little ass to you.
But man, those arms.
He still, after all these years, has an amazing body.
Yes.
But anyways, that's going to do it for us today, you guys. We are off to soccer to celebrate Steph's birthday tomorrow, and we will be back here next Wednesday with another great guest host. Alrighty, catch you later. Thanks for checking out another great episode of Girl Chat Sports. And remember, we don't have balls, but we know how to cover them. Until next time, guys.